Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to get into this and to start celebrating the holiday season. Welcome back to Meetup Live. I'm Emily. I'm the marketing events coordinator at Meetup. Today, we are joined by special guest Darci Hannah, baking enthusiast and author of the Beacon Bakeshop Mystery series from Kensington Books. Darci will show you how to make her classic brown butter shortbread cookies, lemon ginger sandwich cookies, and Almond Joy cookie bars. Darci will also share her baking tips that will have your guests coming back for seconds and even stuffing their pockets. Here's some stress-free holiday baking wisdom and learn about Darci's process for incorporating baking into her mystery novels. So before I let Darci take it away, I'm just going to share a few guidelines and the agenda. So for today's guidelines, you are not in the video, don't worry, but this event is recorded and there's also a mute courtesy. You all are muted during this event, but we would still love to hear from you. So please submit your questions in the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen, and closed captioning is also available. Please turn it on by using the live transcription icon at the bottom of your screen and select your preference from there. And today's agenda. So we're just going to do a quick introduction, which we're doing right now, followed by 45 minutes of a baking demo with Darci, and then a Q&A session at the end for 10 minutes. So before Darci starts to share her delicious treats with us, I'm just going to give her a quick introduction so everybody can get to know her a little bit. So Darci is the author of the Beacon Bakeshop Mysteries, a cozy mystery series set in a lighthouse bakery on the shores of Lake Michigan. A native of the Midwest who currently lives in a small Michigan town, Darci is a lifelong lover of the Great Lakes, a natural wonder that inspires many of her stories. When Darci isn't baking for her family and friends, hiking with her dogs, or writing her next book, she can be found cooking and sampling her baked goods. So Darci, I am so excited for you to get into this, and I can't wait to try out your treats this holiday.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. I need to say a huge thank you to Emily and everybody at Meetup for inviting me today, as well as Larissa from Kensington Books, who reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to bake cookies on a live Zoom? And I thought, why not? So Larissa, thank you so much. She does so much for us authors at Kensington. And I'd like to just say for the record, I am not a professional baker, as you know. I am a writer and I write mysteries. And when I just have this love of baking, if you know me, you know I love lighthouses in Lake Michigan. So when I put together my Beacon Bakeshop Mystery series, it was kind of like self-fulfilling that I have a woman who runs a bakery out of a lighthouse on the shores of Lake Michigan. So it's always such a joy and a pleasure for me to write that story whenever I sit down to write those books. I always include baked goods at the recipes at the end of my books, so that, I talk a lot about delicious baked goods when I'm writing. Sometimes the books, reading them will make you hungry, but just rest assured the recipes are in the back. And today's recipes, I know we have them on the Kensington website, so you can follow along. But if you go to my website at darcihannah.com, www.darcihannah.com, if you go to recipes, I've converted these recipes in metric. So there'll be a little toggle. You'll see the cookie that I'm making. There'll be a little toggle under there that says print recipe, and then it says metric recipe. So if you like the conversions, which I have to say took me a while to do, please feel free to print those off and make these at home. I'm going to start out today with my first baking tip when it comes to holiday baking. I love holiday baking. I wrote a whole Christmas book where I got to explore baking Christmas cookies. But my first tip is that baking for the holidays and baking Christmas cookies especially is always better done with someone you love. Baking at the holidays is a very good way to get your children involved in baking with you. And so today I just want to introduce, I have one of my sons here with me. Dan, come on over. Dan has been so generous to let me cook in his kitchen because he's my techie. This is my middle son. Our youngest son, Matthew, was supposed to be here, but he had work to do today. And we'd like to say hello to Jim Hannah, his older brother, who's joining us from Seattle. And another person who's very special to our family is John, my husband, who is he is the supreme baker sampler at the house. And it's really awesome because John loves everything I bake, so how easy is that? My favorite taste tester, Darci Hannah. And a real special thanks to my mom, who is tuning in today. She's not a techie, but thanks to my brother Randy, hey Randy, who got her on Meetup today. It's a very big adventure for her. She's watching us bake live, and she's the one that taught me to bake. And I would not be here without Jan Hilligers. So, hello, Mom.
All the way from Chicago.
All the way from Chicago, Illinois. So today we're gonna start. Yeah, Dan is gonna handle the tech. At times, I might bring him in to sample, and he's gonna be handing me. We're trying to make 3 cookies, so we're gonna go. So the first cookie we're gonna make is a brown butter shortbread, and shortbread to me is synonymous with Christmas. It's also a specialty of Scotland, and it's just really 3 basic ingredients. It's usually butter, sugar, and flour. I mean, those are my 3 favorite ingredients. So I use a lot of butter and sugar in my cooking. But today, to enhance that simple ingredients, it's hard to improve upon just a great recipe. We just decided to brown the butter. It brings the shortbread just to a different flavor profile and just makes it just so delicious. Browning butter smells a bit like toffee. And so I'm going to be honest that the hardest part of this recipe is browning the butter. It takes long. We've already done it for you. We were going to brown butter here today and just kind of show you what it looks like, but just kind of orchestrating 3 cookies, we ran out of time. But I have the brown butter here, and I don't know if you can see it, Bert. Can you see it, Dan?
Yeah.
So it almost looks like I've combined, butter, brown sugar with butter. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the butter, called from the recipe, in a pan, and you're going to cook it. It's going to boil. I'm not going to boil. It's going to bubble. But there'll be a point when that butter will foam, and as that's foaming, it's burning off the liquid in the butter, and then the milk solids are actually browning. Brown butter, my kids encourage this cookie. They are my brown butter aficionados. I've never browned butter. But then when the recipe calls for when you're done with that, you're going to bring it back to a solid state by putting it in an ice bath, which is an adventure. So I have directions on it. I wish I could show you, but we're making 3 cookies. So I'm going to and then once that's done, you let it sit and try to get it back to room temperature. It's still going to be a little hard. We also stir in 2 tablespoons of milk while we're doing that. And that one reconstitutes, still kind of gives it that softer butter feel to it, because we are altering the butter. So we're going to put that into our mixing bowl. So butter first, right here. And usually most recipes call for butter first. I guess they've been making shortbread in Scotland since the 12th century. So I think that's pretty wonderful and unique. This may not. Do you have your paddle?
Yeah, it's.
Well, I'm going to use.
You want to use mine?
I'm going to use this one. I think we thought that our KitchenAids were interchangeable, but they're not.
Do you want the paddle?
I'll get the paddle out.
You know.
No, I'm gonna whip this. So right now we're gonna whip the butter. It's gonna be a little loud in here. We're gonna try to bring that back to a softness. And as we do that, we're gonna pour in. We're gonna actually add just a teaspoon of vanilla because we're gonna enhance that vanilla flavor. Now we're going to put the sugar in next. So in your kitchen, I want you to beat that butter a little longer, but I'm going to just, try to show you how to get these together pretty quickly. This is powdered sugar. Powdered sugar works so well in shortbread because it gives it that like crisp. It's a little bit of a harder cookie, a little drier, a little crisper. I don't want to push this on too hard because it'll fly out over the edges, which I do. I'm a very messy baker. I'm a messy writer. Sorry, that was not expected. So what just happened there was the top of our shortbread kind of flew out. The top of our mixer flew out. Dan?
Yeah, these are. I get into the. There's always attachments you can get for KitchenAid. KitchenAid didn't pay us to do a sponsor, but.
We love KitchenAids.
Full disclosure. Yeah, no, you can put it. There's like a little rotating square, and you can put a bunch of crazy attachments on your KitchenAid. So I've been kind of experimenting with it. I have the pasta one, which is really fun.
My kids, thanks to our holiday cooking, they're all phenomenal cooks and bakers, and they shame me every day in the kitchen because I think I know what I'm doing. And then when I come over to the Hannah boys' house, boy, am I in for a treat. Dan is my pasta maker. Jim has perfected a brown butter chocolate chip cookie. Okay, bear with me. So, yeah, so it's just gonna take a little bit to mix up in there. Doesn't have a lot of moisture in it.
What should the dough look like?
It's gonna be very dry. I honestly, the dough's gonna be a little bit drier than you expect. We're not going to probably get it. We're not gonna beat it as long as we should. So it might not look as well. It'll be crumbly. And my next huge tip is, thank goodness for parchment. I line everything with parchment because it's easier than paper.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, it's good. Yeah. It's easy when you have a pan lined with parchment, especially for a bar cookie like this, you can pull it out. This might have been something we should have used with the paddle day, but you know, we're just gonna go with it. This is how kitchen experiments go at our house. Seldom perfect, but it's always delicious for some reason.
Improvise a little bit.
Improvise. They're made with love and butter. Those are my two special ingredients. So somebody asked me, like, why do your cookies taste so good? Say, well, love and butter. So this is very dry. Make sure we did that correctly. We don't want to do a top-down view of this. This is like.
Did you forget something? Or? No,
that's everything. This is my recipe. Okay, so like I said, if you would have made that so the butter stuck in the bottom of that. So
the butter's stuck in the bottom.
It's stuck in the bottom. So we're just gonna show you, essentially it's gonna be yours is gonna look a little nicer than mine right now because we screwed that up. But through the magic of Zoom, I'm gonna put this in the oven. And then we're gonna show you, we're gonna pull out, oh my goodness, look at my brown butter shortbread turned out. So this is a recipe that comes from Murder at the Christmas Cookie Bake Off. This is what it should look like when it comes out. Yeah, you want to just slap the top down. You want to put it
Here we go. This is what it's supposed to look like.
Like I said, we're not trained professionals. So can we do that? We can just move that over to here.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the cool thing about this, oh man, this is awesome, Daniel. We just pop it out.
Look at that.
Magic is fine. Boy, did we bake that well, didn't we? Let me just take I actually scored this too. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut on those score marks, if I can find them. We're gonna pre-cut these. I guarantee you, I mean, this is worth the effort if you get that brown butter. So, hey, look at how I made these the other day, so they're a little crumbled. I should cut them when I made them, but. Back at the Beacon Bakeshop, they would never look like this. They look much better. And that's the magic of fiction. So, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish these off. You see that we on the screen. To finish these off, I'm just going to take a couple of these. I'm going to put them on our little baking rack. You will do this. You'll cut these when they're still a little bit warm. And then all you're going to do is we're going to melt up some chocolate because chocolate is going to enhance. My kids love frosting and decorating. Dan, you want to come over here and help me? So what we're going to do is we're just going to.
How do I do it?
Oh, come on, look at that. Dan is an engineer, and so he should figure these things out, right?
Yeah,
okay, so
sure.
Here, come on over, do some tap down.
Yeah, I'll come. Yeah, maybe I'll come over to the other side.
Come on over. Switch. So they're so delicious. So what you're going to do then is you're going to let these. You're going to frost them. I'm using milk chocolate, but feel free to use whatever chocolate you love. You can also sprinkle them with toasted pecans, which we sometimes do. And they're very decadent. People do really enjoy this cookie, even though my dough did not look good. So we're just going to say, oh well on that one. Oh my God, Dan, look at you're getting fancy. You can even go crosswise.
Yeah, we could do like, I don't even know. Is that good?
That's perfect. Let's move on to the next cookie.
All right, I guess
we're doing 3.
Either they're so good we're done, or they're too bad, so we got to get them out of there. Either way, we'll eat them.
Believe me, definitely try these at home. Shortbread is just a joy for the holidays. So I'm going to take the rest of those delightful cookies and we're just going to come back here. Let's see. We are going to probably need this bad boy.
Oh, here, let me clean that.
Oh, we got it. I got it.
You got it?
I might use
All right.
Okay, We're now rebooting.
Transition.
Transition. There we go.
All right, we're moving.
Oh, this is like my favorite baking tip. Sorry, pop back in there. We're gonna start this cookie off. This is one of my favorites. When I was looking for cookies for the Christmas book that I wrote, Murder at the Christmas Cookie Bake Off, I asked a friend, I said, what is your favorite Christmas cookie? Because I wanted to have some really delicious and unusual cookies that I don't normally bake for my family. And a friend of mine said, I love something called a lemon ginger sandwich cream. And it's from Cars, which is a British, I believe, company. And so I had never tasted one. And I thought, wow, I've got to taste these. So I decided to work on recipes. This recipe, the dough, is going to take a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off, I've pre-measured everything. That is my biggest tip is to, when you're making cookies, think ahead, be prepared. Buy all the ingredients for all the cookies you want to make at the holidays. That helps, especially when you're working with children. Another really good tip is to pre-measure everything before you go. So this one, we're going to start out, I'm going to put the butter. Now it calls for cold butter, and I grate the butter. I think I probably added that one a little bit too late to my recipe. If you're using cold butter, you're not going to grate it, just chop it up. If your butter gets to room temperature, don't sweat it. Cold butter is a technique I use when making short crust for like pies and things like that. And it works really well in this recipe. We're gonna put all of this, let's see, I'm gonna need my, should we try this one? Is this yours? No,
Oh, no, mine is the, oh, it's right there.
let me see the recipe, how to memorize these and then
Oh, I have them. What do you want?
I have it. I just don't know how to order.
Okay.
Oh, of course, butter, sugar. I mean, I just want to make sure. Usually it's always butter, sugar combination. And this one, you got the, what did you do with the paddle?
It's right here. Sweeten.
So we're cooking in Dan's kitchen. He's so sweet to let me cook in his kitchen. And it's kind of a win-win situation. I'm going to trash his kitchen today, but he's going to get a lot of cookies. So it's kind of, if you have children and they have nice kitchens, just invite yourself over. Tell them you're going to bake a little bit. So we're going to turn on our mixer again. Mixer's going to do some great things for us here. This is a spicy ginger cookie, and the beauty of this cookie is the frosting that we put in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and put in our molasses at this point. We're just going to dump all of this stuff in. While that beautiful butter is melting away. Every good ginger type of a cookie usually has molasses in it. It has just a very good, wonderful flavor. We're also going to be putting in all the spices. So I pre-measured all the spices here. So some cinnamon, nutmeg, the baking powder is also in here. And it wouldn't be ginger flavor without the ginger. So I'm using fresh ginger. I'm grated, and I'm using 2 teaspoons of it. If you use brown nutmeg, a teaspoon and a half. The conversions I said again are on my website. And you know what? This is one of those things where if you like it spicier, go ahead and feel free to put more ginger in. This is also a really good dough to make at home. If you let it rest in the refrigerator, once you make it, it's just those flavors are going to just infuse into that dough. It's going to be like just about. This is lemon. This is lemon zest, which is just basically like grated lemon peel. That's going to also enhance the lemon flavor. So that's about it, except for the we got the flour to go, and I think it's a the cream. Yes, that's right.
What pan are you using for this?
I have a regular pan.
That pan? Okay, perfect.
We're good.
I don't need to clean it?
We don't need to clean it.
Yes.
This is unusual that my kids don't like to clean pans. I don't blame them. Who likes it? Half the battle of baking is just cleaning. Like all my kids love to bake, but there will be times when I think Jim is the biggest instigator of this, when he'll go in and make this amazing dinner in my kitchen. But the kitchen looks like a bomb hit it afterwards. So my big rule is clean as I go. That is another tip in organization. Really clean as you go. Now I'm going to be adding the flour to this beautiful dough. And along with the flour, we're going to be adding cream as well to this. So that's going to help set this beautiful dough up. Kind of alternate them. I wish you could smell of it, Jim, because this is like one of the new family favorites. I made some yesterday. I let my husband taste them. And Jesse. And boy, he liked to sample these. So that's just going to set up. I'm going to push this arm a little bit. But I'm just going to hold your ears.
Yeah.
Give it a burst. Okay, beautiful.
Lock down.
I'm just using my fingers. That's just so unprofessional, but it's your kitchen. You can do what you want in your kitchen. If you're serving guests your cookies, and you try to be very hygienic. I have 2 dogs. I'm not clean that one up. I have 2 dogs, and so part of the battle with me. Oh, sorry, Sue. Part of the battle with me is making sure I clean really well before I cook to get that dog out of it. They're shedding dogs. I don't know if you can see this, and I should scoop this, but this batter is just wonderful. It's not, it doesn't make a lot, and I'm going to tell you, it doesn't need to make a lot because we're making a sandwich cookie where you double, you're going to double up on the cookie. So I don't know if you can see what that looks like. It's a beautiful, beautiful brown bag. So we're going to make these are going to look incredibly small. But what happens is when they bake, they're going to kind of spread out a little bit. When I made this, I was aiming for the size of an Oreo cookie. This is a little trick. I'm using just a teaspoon, and there's a little bit of oil. I want to get it on Dan, but to oil up my teaspoon a little bit. And then I weighed this last night for those of you who are cooking, are not in the US and use the gram system. I made, yeah.
That's true.
Not awesome. The metric system. I'm not a math person. I write for a living. So get away with that one. So you're gonna make the ball. I think it was 12. I think I tried 12 grams first, cut them in half so there's 6. And then the one that I think I liked about it, that was a little bit bigger. I think it was a 16 grams or just a little bit more. I mean, it's just a matter of just.
So really, 16 grams cut in half.
Do you want to put this on top down?
8 grams. Yeah, sure. We'll do the magic top down. Here, I'm going to kind of move this out of the way.
I think we're just not going to show how to make the frosting and just work on these. I already have the frosting made. That was part of. Last night I did weigh these just to get. So look at how tiny those are. Those are just little. It's like marble size, right? And you just kind of put them on your baking sheet. Now here I'm using this lovely. It's like a what do you call that? It's like a plastic sheet. You okay?
Yeah, no, yeah. There you go, right there. That's perfect.
And so you're just going to line your tray with these little nuggets. If you like a bigger cookie, go a little bit bigger, but I suggest keeping them kind of tiny because they do spread out. So let's see where we are. How are we doing, Dan?
Oh, we're really good at time.
Okay, perfect. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so
we might be able to whip up the.
We can do the. You want me to? Can I clean the bowl?
Yeah. Perfect. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put this, just scrape this out, and we're going to put the dough. We'll just put the dough in one of your bowls.
Okay, let me get a Tupperware.
So we'll make, oh my gosh, perfect. Oh my God, Tupperware. So fancy.
Oh, it's fancy Tupperware.
Fancy Tupperware. And
It's so fancy.
You wanna?
Yeah.
Oh, that one got kind of tiny. I don't know if you can see
that. Is that too big?
Well, yeah, but don't worry.
It's just too big?
It's don't worry about just putting it.
I'll get smaller Tupperware.
We're not that picky. Okay. So these are going to go in the oven. Look, I just totally abandoned like when I'm cooking alone, I usually try to be very precise, but when I'm, we're baking with kids, it's holiday baking. Anything goes. Holiday baking. All right. So I'm just going to show you that. We're going to put them in a 350-degree oven. These are going to be, I forgot to tell you, the shortbread is in a slow cook. Shortbread was 300 degrees, and I have the conversion to Celsius, but I can't read this stuff. These are going to be 375 degrees or 177 degrees Celsius. And we're going to bake them for 8 to 10 minutes. again, I want you to use your sense of smell when you bake. Because once you start smelling these and they smell really good, chances are they're going to be done. So we're gonna put these in the oven and we're gonna work on our wonderful. I'm just gonna throw it all
Are we good with
together.
this?
We are
dough?
good with that dough. I
Okay.
can't use this, right? That's,
Do we want to go to the front?
yeah, we'll go with that. Oh my God, I have not ever seen my son clean a kitchen so fast. It was like, Dan, who did you train under in kitchenware? And baking?
I guess
Who
you.
did you train under? How do you do this so well? So the frosting is really for this lemon ginger sandwich cream. This is where the lemon comes in. Where did that tray go, Dan?
Over here.
Okay, so there should be butter and powdered sugar on that
Yeah,
tray.
you got powdered sugar.
And then bring that
the lemon.
Yes, the lemon. This is where our lemon comes in. So again, I've pre-measured the butter. Thank heavens.
Is this
We
lemon?
don't have time for me to measure.
I think that's lemon.
That's lemon, and then there's another clear one that's lemon extract.
There's this.
Well, yeah, but that little white bowl that has lemon extract in it.
Oh,
You see?
it's-
Yeah, there's something in
oh,
there.
wow, there is something in it.
So again, we're gonna just beat the sugar real quick, beat the butter real
Oh,
quickly.
it's okay.
So that's the pre-made stuff, Dan. So
Yeah, I'll hold on.
we're not gonna try to bag this in front of people. Everything can happen when everything bad can happen when you're trying to put frosting in a pastry bag. But we're gonna do that. So really beat that up again. This is just your basic buttercream frosting, but it's just taken to that next level with the lemon and the lemon extract. We're just gonna put the powdered sugar in. It's very dangerous to pour powdered sugar like that. Just dump it in there because you know when I turn that on. I think there's supposed to be like a pinch of salt in there too because that's unsalted butter. I'm just gonna pinch salt in there because it's so good. I'm gonna put, I think it's a tablespoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And then again, to just take that again to that just lemony goodness that goes so well with gingerbread, lemon extract. Some people don't like using extract, and I don't usually use like a flavored extract very often. But this is one of the times I do, and I recommend it. You can go, oh wow. Okay. Hold your ears. We're leveling up. Frosting. Looking beautiful. You have a cookie, you can actually try. Your brother just texted, the kitchen looks good, Dan.
My brother did?
Yeah, your brother.
Which one?
Jim.
Oh.
Jimmy! So, which means that he actually came on today. Like,
Maybe he's just saying that so we think he's on. Maybe he forgot. He's just.
So when baking and doing anything with my boys, they just give each other such a hard time. We're all 2 years apart in age. For reference, I'm 5'9", and my kids are, they're just so tall. It's that good Midwestern, I don't know, the Midwestern stock, I guess. Dan, here's another thing for you. I'm just, bear with me. I bring the frosting tips. I'm just gonna, hang on. Okay, now we're gonna call you back into the kitchen now.
All right.
We're gonna call you back into the kitchen. There's a little tip, and I'm not gonna do it right now because my frosting bag is on the table. But how you can get the frosting, this is the frosting, I made this yesterday, but you can really fill a frosting bag easily by putting it over a glass. I don't know if you can see that, by putting it over a glass like that, spooning the filling in there. And then, this is a little tip I learned. My younger brother, Ron, used to own a bakery for like 2 years. It was a whim of a thing that he did. And he used to call me at like, what, 2? He'd call me the night before. And be like, Darci, can you come in and help me frost wedding cakes and their birthday cakes? And my kids were little babies at the time. Dan was probably a year old. I didn't know how to frost cakes, but I don't even know if we've learned. That's where we really have that, first by, like just the crucible of baking. So you have to do it, you do it well.
So how are we frosting?
So what we're going to do is go ahead and grab that frosting bag.
Okay.
I'm going to remove this frosting bag. You're going to
I'll put this in the sink.
So-
We don't need this, right?
Yes. Yeah, we can sync that up. So do the magic again of Zoom. These are what these lemon ginger sandwich creams.
I'm gonna go top down.
Go top down and then it's over. Bear with us. So the cool thing about these cookies, so look at how big. So these are a little bit of a bigger one that I made. And what I've done is I've already lined them up for us because the whole fun about frosting these cookies is you try to find matching ones. And if you're really good and precise, so these are the smaller ones. That's not quite the size of an Oreo, I realized. So then I thought, well, let's just make them a little bit bigger. So what Dan is going to do, I've already done the hard part. I've matched them up for him. But he's just going to take this, he's going to put a dollop of frosting on there and make a sandwich cookie. Dan,
Alright.
kitchen's yours.
Okay, just gonna give it a shot. Oh, geez.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
I think that's
okay,
okay.
we're
I don't
gonna
know. I don't know.
What can you pastry bag is fine.
These are double,
You know what?
double stuffed Oreos
Double stuff.
or what, cookies. Oh, yeah.
I'm
Okay.
done.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much to put on them. That's the hard
Oh,
part.
like a teaspoon. How
A
much are you
teaspoon?
doing?
I'm
I
just
mean,
doing a little
honestly,
dollop.
what would you can push more on there. There you go. Push it down like, yeah. there
Like
you go.
that?
Beautiful.
Okay.
You know, and I don't have a tip on that because I
That's-
just, yeah.
Is that for like
Oh, good.
preference?
What do you, now, fill it, give it a little more.
Give it a little more?
I mean, what do you want? In a sandwich cookie?
I want a double stuffed Oreo.
Yeah,
You
but
know, I want a
I
good.
mean, it's your cookie. That's the cool thing about having your cookie.
If I'm gonna eat a cookie though, I want to eat a cookie, you know, I don't want to eat a, there we go.
Yes,
That's what I'm
I
talking
agree.
about.
What did I do with
The mixer?
the mixer?
I cleaned it.
I lost the paddle.
Oh, I did clean the paddle.
No, we're good, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
False alarm, false alarm.
I got it. I'm on top of it. We're good. We need to go to the next cookie. Yeah, 30 seconds.
You have one more second. We're trying to
So I
time
got
this.
5 of these done here. That's probably
Oh
good,
my
right?
gosh. We'll put them on the plate.
Yeah, I'll put them on the
Put 'em
plate. We'll show you afterwards what all the cookies we have on our
How they're
plate.
supposed to.
Yeah.
We're creating our Christmas plate.
I'll take this.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yep.
We're gonna top down, we're gonna put the bad boy back in there
Take
again.
this away.
So now it's
You
gonna
don't
be,
use-
oh, we can sit in there, I'll just, yeah. We're going to make the crust of the Almond Joy.
And then the
So
next
that's the
one.
last, oh, Dan, do you have I'm gonna have you open the can while I, just leave the tray over.
Yeah.
We're shifting.
All right, here's the next batch.
Okay.
Oh, we're still top down.
Oh, well, that's okay.
They can't even see what we're
Sorry.
doing.
Folks, you
You
wanna
can't
see-
even see all of our mistakes we're making right now.
We don't make any mistakes. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this to Dan. So this next cookie is an Almond Joy. It's called an Almond Joy cookie bar. The story with this cookie is that every Halloween, my kids get Almond Joys when they were little and they hated them, they didn't like it. And here in the United States, an Almond Joy is a delicious candy bar. And it's basically shredded coconut and almonds, and it's covered in, I think either milky or dark chocolate. This year, I couldn't find any at the grocery store. And of course, my kids are too old to go trick or treating. I mean, I think they're too old to trick or treat.
We're too old to go trick or
They're
treating.
too old to go.
Confirmed.
Confirmed, okay. So I decided like I was really missing that after Halloween fix of this Almond Joy. So I decided, well, why not see if we can make them? And I ran across a bunch of intrepid bakers on the internet who, oh my gosh, there are some phenomenal food bloggers on the internet. So I read a bunch of them, I tried a couple, and then I combined what I liked out of all of them to create one magical cookie bar. So again, we're gonna start almost with a shortbread-like crust. The paddle,
It's in the dry rack.
why am I not seeing these things?
I don't know.
So we're gonna put on our paddle, and again, oh gosh.
It fits. It definitely fits.
Maybe it was me, like, oh, maybe mine. Could it have been me? Usually when things
I don't
like that
know.
happen, the kids have so much strength in their hands. A lot of times I'll try to do something and they feel sorry for me because I can't quite, I feel like, did we miss something else? Hang on.
1 second. We're double checking. Do you want me to open this can of
Yes.
sweetened condensed milk in front of you?
Yeah, so.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah, so
Here's-
we can do that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do the butter. So just a little, we're gonna blow out your eardrums here for a minute. So let's get the butter done. So yeah.
feel like this is not how people open the can.
Oh, push it up, put it on the
I
ground.
like to live dangerously. I don't
Oh
know.
my God. A little salt in there, a little pinch of sea salt. Oh, wrong way.
What do with this?
Yeah, you threw that away. I always open the can. I think years ago, like used to kind of not open it all the way, but you really gotta, I think to get all of the goodness.
You
out
just
of
told me
it.
to open it. You
No,
told me to-
you're good. That's what
Okay.
you're supposed to open it. Brown sugar, because we're gonna make a crust. So this cookie is gonna have a very thin crust, but we're gonna have almonds in the crust too. So what I've done here is if you look at the recipe, there's 2 different kinds of almonds I'm using. But I buy the whole almonds and then I toast them. And I think I explained how to do that. I toast them like this. And then I measure out a cup and I grind them. So these are beautifully toasted, just like
Oh, look at
look at
those.
those. Beautifully toasted and crushed already, so we don't have to go through the hassle of doing that right here. Those are the almonds that we're gonna use. So again, just make this sugar crust. My butter. Don't hold on. All right, I think that's pretty mixed. Butter is all over the side. I'm gonna try that again, and then before we add, this is a very dry crust too, so a little bit like the shortbread. And people are thinking, what is there with Darci and dry cookies? But believe me, my youngest son tasted one of the shortbread cookies I made the other day. We were practicing, and I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "It's like dry."
I think he was just giving you a hard
And then I
time.
go,
I don't.
fired. You're fired. You're not gonna be my taster anymore. No, he was giving me a hard time.
Yeah. No, they were good.
Yes. So then we're gonna just put the flour in here. This is where the flour goes. Like again, we're just making this shortbread crust. I should do it slowly, spoonfuls at a time of flour. But
Well, if you do it too fast, what happens?
well, if you do it when it's hard to blend, you just have to blend it longer. And then what I do is if I get impatient, and here's another tip, another baking tip is you have to have patience in the kitchen. Expect your baking experience to go off the rails a little bit. And when they do, just go with it. I forgot to tell you, as we're making, hang on. It's like weird that the butter is like, the most important part about Christmas cookie baking, in my humble opinion, is that, we're making these Almond Joy bars, but it's also representative of like how you should feel when you're making cookies. This is a joyful time of year, and baking cookies is just a joyful thing to do. So I really like it. I mean, don't take it seriously. Your cookies are going to be beautiful. They're going to come out, even if you burn them, which I've never done. You can always cut around the burn. You learn as you go in the kitchen. We really, really do. So let's give this another whirl. As you can see, I let this machine go on hardwood for me. This is a very dry crust too. Look at that. It's like, because there's no liquid in it. It's just the butter. And when the butter's soft, it really kind of, I don't know what's going on with the butter today. This might, again, turn out like it. When I do this at home, it turns out really well.
Don't blame my kitchen.
I'm blaming
A lot.
your KitchenAid.
It's not the KitchenAid.
Right. So as that's blending, I do remember that this was kind of dry. I didn't have to pack it up. I'm going to go ahead and dump in those almonds because we're making Almond Joy bars. Gotta have some
I'm
almonds.
gonna add the condensed milk.
Not in here.
No.
Like, did you read the recipe?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's another thing. Try to read the recipes and make sure you just have the ingredients before you start making. Okay, so I'm just going to push this to the side a little bit because the next phase is that. Okay, so again, I use the parchment in here. I cannot get the parchment to very, very well. And sometimes, a lot of times, when had an accident in the kitchen, but I'm smiling through it. Because you know what, they'll be delicious. If they're made with delicious ingredients, if you use, tasty ingredients, your food is gonna come out good. I think that's really one of the #1 rules. I don't think we need to use this again. I think our mixing days.
We're done.
I'm gonna have to use woman power on the next one to cook. So, the butter does get all pushed to the side of me, but that's okay because we can press it down. So we're lining our 9 by 13 pan with parchment. And I'm just gonna mix this. I'm doing a better job than the mixer right now.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. But hey, how about that bright red Christmassy color? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, my kids, as soon as they move out of the house, I think the first thing they do when they have their own kitchens is getting their own beautiful mixer, which is it's really flattering because it means that they really enjoy baking and experimenting in the kitchen. And that's really what this is all about. It's just having fun in the kitchen, trying something new, sticking with the old cookies. I always add a new cookie in there. And it's either kind of a yay or nay type of issue. So if you look at this, Danny, you just want to hold that real quickly.
Hold the.
Oh, the camera top down.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
put, just put it down here.
Top down.
I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Because the next phase is going to be, okay. So what we do is, this is how it does look. It's very crumbly. And you're going to press it really good down in there. And again, this is going to be for easy removal. So that looks really good. You're going to bake this crust for 5 minutes. And now we're going up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 190.5 Celsius. So that looks great. So that's going to be baked for just a short amount of time. And then we're going to add what makes these cookies so special. You can actually leave it there.
Okay. How long do they go in for?
5 minutes.
What is that in metric?
Okay.
It's 5. It's 5 minutes.
I just said, but I'm so bad with my memory is not. So the secret is when you write, you can get your thoughts down on paper a little bit easier than you can kind of tell and explain things sometimes. At least I feel like that's.
No, that was a joke.
Oh, was it a joke?
Yeah.
I need the vanilla.
Time is the same.
Time is the same. Where's the vanilla on?
Vanilla extract. Okay, we found the
Here,
vanilla.
well, I did this. You scoop this in here. I'm gonna put Dan's.
What do I do?
Oh, sorry.
Here, I'll come over here.
Where's my big? I had that big stir. Oh no, I didn't bring it. So I want you to put this in here.
Whisk or something?
No, just
I'm gonna clean one really quick.
I literally brought this big gray one with me. That is just stout. It's a stout.
Well,
You have something in your kitchen that's stealing things,
I don't know.
and it might be a ghost. I'm kidding. I write.
Can I use, is this one? No. All right.
Oh, here it is. Why is that one dirty? Okay.
I don't
got it.
know.
Okay, go ahead and start. We'll just go ahead and start pouring.
Pour this in.
Just pour it. Pour it.
All right.
Pour it.
Just all.
So you're going to add a can of sweetened condensed milk to a whole bag of Baker's or whatever shredded
Coconut. Yeah.
You're
There.
going to stir. That one probably can't get in there very well. Use this one to get in there.
Then I just fold it in, or what?
You stir that up. Yeah, you
Stir
can
it.
do this in a mixer, but we're giving that mixer a break at this point. While you do that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of. Yeah, it's a little hard.
Okay,
It's
she's
a
putting
pretty-
vanilla. Vanilla
God.
extract. What is that? Lemon.
Okay, well,
Oh.
this is why I'm
Whoopsie.
That was really vanilla. Of course it is.
That was we didn't put lemon extract in the coconut. Although maybe it'll taste good. I don't know.
It's kind of a little tricky, but
I can smell it. It smells like
well,
lemon.
here, we're gonna cover that lemon. Like I said, I don't like
Alright.
to use now. See, look at that's what.
That looks like vanilla extract.
That's the kind I
There we
use. You
go.
can get clear vanilla, so we could have just passed that off as an honest mistake.
It's all right.
So we're just gonna describe, I'm going to, can I just switch this now?
Yeah, yeah.
Or here, I'll switch it. with you.
Yeah, yeah. Here,
You're
this is
pretty
pretty
I'm gonna
good. Pretty
continue
folded in.
to make it pretend like I can really stir. Oh, this is a hard stir. So like I suggest putting this in your mixer if you have one, or look at, you can do it yourself. It's pretty good. So what you're gonna do when the crust comes out, you're gonna gently put that on top of the crust. And then you'll spread it out, this beautiful mixture, and then you're going to bake it for 20 to 25 minutes in the same 375 degree oven. So that's gonna toast this up. What I like to do is I like to score it first. which I did with the brown butter shortbread, but we didn't get that far on that dough. Do it first, and then when it comes out, I'm going to show them what it looks like. Again, do the magic
Yeah,
of
let's
Zoom.
do a close up here. I'm gonna take
Right.
this away. We're done with this, right?
Yeah,
We need
I think
almonds?
we need that, really. Right? What we want to need is that little, what's that? And we don't even, it doesn't even matter.
So we're gonna put that for the chocolate
So
or
what I've
what?
already done is, so I've already, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna move this out of the way because this would go on top of the
Yes,
crust,
yes.
which is what's already here. So
Yes,
yeah.
and then you bake it, and then it looks like that. I've taken the liberty of putting the almonds in there. You can put one full almond. This is where the whole almonds come in. You can put one or two in each square. I doubled up because I love almonds. That's kind of the beauty of Almond Joy. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, again, look at how well used my beautiful hands are. Okay. It got a little, I think I only did this for 20 minutes. It got a little toasty at the edges, but it's still delicious. Okay. So now again, this is pretty sunny here. I had scored it, so I'm just going to cut these on the score lines. Oh, these don't smell like lemon at all. These smell good. Let's see.
Why don't you just cut the first row off
I'm
and show
going
the
to. I'm
chocolate?
going to.
Yeah, just go to chocolate.
Go to chocolate. Okay. We're gonna go to chocolate. Okay. So I'm going to switch that out. So as you see, we have these beautiful cookie bars. I'm going to show you the cookie bar under it. So you see the crust down there that's got our, okay, we're going to spread these out a little bit.
Okay.
This is another fun one, Danny. You have sprinkles in this one, too. I'm going to use a, do you have, we're going to just pop out one of your knives here.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're just going to cover these. And I'm using a dark chocolate because I kind of like the dark chocolate on there. And so we're just going to pour a dollop of melted dark chocolate on. You can actually put the dark chocolate on if you don't want to make them individual like I do. You could put the dark chocolate just on top. This is going to get messy. So
Yeah, it's pretty messy.
if you want to get the sprinkles, though, we can
There's
also.
sprinkles?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So, oh my gosh, that's the chocolate. I am not, like I said, this is very messy cookie. But do you see how I'm just kind of making it like a little, oh honey, they're behind me,
Oh.
a little bar. So we have that, and there's also, I have the extra bag of.
Here's some sprinkles. Do I just do like,
Whoa.
no?
No.
Okay, I guess we're making these.
Well, then you can always, okay, you can top it with this, okay.
Oh, okay, and then I put
Okay,
sprinkles
now
on.
so make them a little more Christmassy.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so there you go. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
And then for those people who hate coconut, you just don't tell them what's in it and say, hey. This is good. No, that's
Yeah,
not
we're
funny.
probably gonna go to
Yeah.
Q&A, I think. Right
I
now.
think we're good. Okay, I hope.
You just do that for the
So
rest
we
of
would
them?
do it for the rest of them. We let that dry before we eat it. So that's gonna be last on our, I can probably frost these while we do Q&A. So why don't you?
Yeah, sure. All right, I'm gonna pull it back to.
They're delicious though. I really like these. In fact, the kids in my family who don't like Almond Joys really love these. In fact, I think they ate, Matt really loved these things. Dad even ate it. So he's
Yeah.
not a big fan. Okay,
Yeah.
we are, I give you, we're ready for Q&A.
Yeah, let's get into some Q&A. Thank you for doing that. That was great.
Well, thank you.
I'm going to just quickly share your resources just so people can follow along with you. So
Okay.
we have a quick slide to share. Just pulling that up. Hold on a second. Sorry about that.
These are not the prettiest cookies we've ever made, but I'm just going to continue to decorate with them. should let them dry a little longer, but I'm rushing it. Again. Where's my?
All right. So these are Darci's books, and you can check them out in the links that I will be sharing in the chat. It will also have the links to her Instagram and all of her social media channels so that you can keep up with everything Darci's got going on. And we can get into some Q&A.
I mean, you got to have some baking questions or book questions, or I'll take any questions, really.
Let
Christmas
me check out.
Christmas decor questions. Oh my gosh. I should just
One second, just having some
That's okay, we're frosting.
tech issues.
I'm just multitasking.
I have
What
a
you do
question,
is-
Mom.
Yes.
Can you convert 1 cup of flour to ounces or to grams, please?
I think it's 120.
120?
No, it's either 120 or 240.
I think it's 238.
Okay, 238. I lost that one.
All right, so we got a question from the audience. We got one from Carolyn. They ask, for shortbread or others, do you ever, 1, use herbs or any variations? And 2, do you ever use gluten-free flour? And if so, what gluten-free flour do you use?
Oh, that is a good question. I have not, we don't have, and I'm sorry if you guys have dietary restrictions. I have not converted any of my recipes to those. And I probably should one day. I think that's something I'm going to try to do. I have never baked a gluten-free product unless it would be like a meringue, something like that.
What about herbs?
Herbs, I love using herbs.
Oh, in the shortbread. That's what
Infuse them with herbs. Now that is brilliant. I don't do it because I'm cooking for boys. And so for my girlfriends, I think, did we have one that was rosemary and lemon? And that was very delicious too. So that's the beauty with shortbread. And please feel free to change up all of my ingredients to suit your dietary needs. And my goodness, that sounds like really good to use herbs in shortbread. So I have not done that yet, but thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
It sounds very good.
We got another question. Janet asked, can you do brown sugar versus white sugar in the brown butter shortbread?
I think you can, and I think that would be a really good. I use powdered sugar because powdered sugar dissolves. It's a little lighter. So I guess the rule with traditional shortbread is 1 part sugar, 2 parts butter, and 4 parts flour. So if you wanted to do that, and like my shortbread made just an 8 by or 9 by 9 pan. Well, that's how you make it. But I would go ahead and experiment. I don't know if I've ever used brown butter. I think I know
brown sugar.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Brown sugar.
I don't know.
But you know what? You could, honestly, go ahead and experiment. I love brown sugar in things. We use that in the ginger cookie because it just gives it, again, that molasses flavor to it. But that would be delicious. So I have not done that yet. So thank you for that suggestion. I appreciate it.
That's the fun of baking. You can always test things out.
I know. Well, we do a lot. I have a lot of guinea pigs. Bring it to neighbors or friends and say, "What do you think of this?"
Right,
Just maybe think of that. I don't know.
We got another question from Patty. They asked, how did you decide to incorporate the baking into your mystery series?
Oh, that is such a good question. And I really started out writing historical fiction, and then I switched into writing a mystery. And I didn't even know I had written what is classified as a cozy mystery, which is a mystery that's solved by an amateur sleuth, and it's a little gentler. They're clean reads, right? And so in the genre, this mystery genre, there's usually a hook. And when I had found a different agent for this, and she said, hey, I like this, but you need a hook. And I'm like, what do you mean by hooks? And so she was telling me what women like to read about. You think about things like that when you're selling books. And she said, fiber arts, and what else did she say? Bookshops, and then she said food. And I said, whoa, stop there. Like, I can write about food. So already I baked a lot. I kind of have a rule, like with my kids, I would never really buy baked goods, but if we wanted something sweet, we would have to make it. And that way, you're not just going into a pantry to, grab a random sweet. So we baked a lot, and I thought, I think I can write about baked goods. Like I said, I worked a little bit in a bakery with my brother, it was so much fun. And so just that bakery vibe, bringing that into a cozy murder mystery where my protagonist, Lindsay Bakewell, solves these mysteries. So she's a baker. She also is a financial. Before that, she was a financial investment banker. So she's kind of a fun character to work with. But I really love doing that because then I get to share recipes in the back. I know as a reader, when I would read those kinds of books, and you read these descriptions of food, sometimes like I read late at night. And so I would think, oh my gosh, that sounds delicious. I'm going to try that. And so I would try recipes from other writers. And so I thought, how fun. So when I fell into this fun, cozy mystery genre, which I absolutely adore writing in, it's very fun. I was just so elated to get to share baked goods. So I do have to test them all out, of course, before I put them in there. But I think readers enjoy that. So that's how I do it. And I just kind of put the
best
recipes.
part. Testing
The best
out
part,
your
yeah.
All right. We have one more quick question. Is just someone wants to know what your favorite cookie is.
Oh my favorite cookie. Oh my,
Yeah.
I have a saying is I've never met a cookie I didn't love. My favorite Christmas cookie might be, and I think people call them Mexican wedding cookies. We called them almond crescents in my family, and there was no almonds in them, but they're almost like a shortbready cookie with we had, I think, pecans in ours. You bake them and then you roll them in powdered sugar. Those are so good. And then my favorite, just general cookie. I have it, actually, it's in the back of my first Murder at the Beacon Bakeshop. It's a cookie that it's like an oatmeal base, but it has dried cherries, I think dark chocolate and toasted pecans in it. And that I used to make that for the kids when they go to college because they hold together well. It's just a really great go-to cookie. Has a little bit of everything in it. So
Sounds delicious.
I gave you 2 cookies.
My favorite's toffee.
Toffee's not a cookie.
Yeah, but I don't care.
We love toffee too.
Well, I need to put these on my list to bake this holiday. We're just
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say the Almond Joy bar kind of is like a candy as well. So I know we like to make candies at the holidays. We make a lot of toffee and fudge. So you can kind of pass that off as a little of either, a little of both, I should say. Cookie, candy.
perfect. Well, we're just about at time, so I'm just going to share a few quick slides to wrap up.
Thank you.
All right, so our first slide is just about Meetup's TikTok. We are now on TikTok. Please just check us out at Meetup. We post some really fun and engaging content that you won't want to miss out on. And we also have a podcast, Keep Connected with Meetup's CEO, David Siegel. And David talks with Meetup organizers as well as thought leaders in community and connection. You can scan this QR code to give it a listen. And as a reminder, you can view a recap of this event in a few days on our Community Matters blog at meetup.com/blog. So thank you everybody for joining us and have a great holiday.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks.
And myself. Happy holidays. Happy fun kitchen baking in the kitchen.